Hello guys, how are you today? Guess what? It's raining again in Lebanon, it's raining again in Beirut, and it's raining again everywhere in the country. We're going to JamaloukiCon, which is the beauty and fashion festival. I checked out the events calendar and I missed out last year. And I thought, okay, let's go this year, it would be nice. So I checked out the calendar and I marked up some interesting events and workshops and meets and greets that I thought it would be nice to check out. So as usual, come with me, Ta3o Ma3e, and let's go to JamaloukiCon. It's happening on the 26th, 27th and 28th. There are some events that I want to check out in these 3 days, but I hope that I can go with my work depending. And so in case it's going to be a vlog of 3 days, 2 days, or 1 day, but I think it's going to be at least 2 days. Come with me. Well, this is the event, and basically I tried to highlight what is interesting for me. Alright. So now we're gonna try to find our workshop.
I'll give you a brief introduction to me. My name is Neem, I'm Lebanese. I've been in the fashion industry for about 10 years. I started off at London College of Fashion doing a degree in surface textiles. I wanted to be a designer. And I graduated probably at the worst time for any student globally. It was in the middle of the recession and I just couldn't find a job to save my life. It was crazy. So I decided to start a fashion blog, and this was in 2009. Blogging had only been in existence for like 3 years, so it was kind of right place, right time. And this blog eventually turned into my full-time thing, and eventually that led to Ego East, which is the company my sister Natalia and I founded in 2016.
I also studied at London College of Fashion. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, so I did a foundation year called Fashion Portfolio that basically taps into various fields within the industry.
We spent almost 7 years building something in the industry, and we noticed that we were really in love with the business side of it. So my favorite part of being a blogger was doing the emails and negotiating fees and creating schedules. Yeah, making it like a full-time brand business. So I really enjoyed selling my posts and figuring out how much everything was worth and doing the negotiation side of things. And one of the most important things when you are launching yourself online is to figure out what your identity is. If you don't have a set identity and you don't have something in mind as to why you're doing it, then you're not going to have any guidance and it's going to go all over the place and you won't be able to explain it properly and it just comes across a little bit scattered.
And you need to be able to adapt. The times are changing so quickly. Like today everyone's loving the grainy, old, vintagey type of pictures, and you know, next month it could be like super clean. You have to be able to adapt your brand into whatever the next trend is.
So why are you doing this? Like, is it because you eventually want to launch a lipstick line, or do you want to open a cafe and you're building an audience of people who are influenced by you, and so eventually when you do announce something, they'll be there to support you. You're essentially building your own marketing platform. And besides these factors of just showing yourself, physically you have to be around. You have to attend events, network, meet up with PRs and brands, let them get a sense of your personality behind the screen.
From the outside, people assume that being an influencer is fun and you know, it's all just fun and games, but it's not. It's very time consuming. You have to network, you have to put yourself out there. And there are days where you're sitting on the couch and you don't want to put makeup on and you don't want to go to, you know, the next event, but you have to. You have to force yourself, put yourself out there and let your personality shine. It's very, very important for people to know who you are beyond just looking at the screen. and you have to be consistent. If you're not consistent, then you're not going to grow, and that also falls into your identity. Like, keep it consistent so people can begin to know who you are as a person.
So the way you speak to a PR is completely different to like, hi guys, on stories. Like, it's going to be super business related, very professional, and our biggest tips would be, if you are managing yourself or you're trying to work with brands, avoid doing this on social media apps. Like, if anyone DMs you and says they're interested in working with you, I get it. It's a very direct way of approaching someone, but ask them to follow up in an email, you know, like take it to a professional place. And when they do email you, be responsive immediately, like within 24 hours, max 48.
It's very fast paced, so if you're not responsive, you can lose out on an opportunity very, very quickly.
They're approaching 5 of you, and whoever responds first and whoever's the nicer, like these things come into play. You're dealing with another human, so it's all about charming them and letting them see that, oh wow, she responds to her emails so quickly, she answers every question I have, she must be really easy to work with. What's next? So utilize your platforms, make the best out of your situation, but climb your own ladder. Become the CEO of your own company. You can easily do it because this industry has no rules, and it's not been around long enough for anyone to tell you that you're breaking them anyway. So that's it. If you guys have any questions, just raise your hand and I'll come give you the mic.
The fact that we're really good friends, one thing we have in common is that we have, whether it's through personal brands like me and Ahmed, as I'm referring to ourselves, or Firas through launching brands, we've established international presence. And if anyone here in the audience is either trying to take a step from being local to more global or international, or through launching a brand on a more global level, then you're in the right panel. I want to just highlight first though that at least I do not think in any way that being global is necessarily better than being local. It's a different strategy for every brand, for every person, and it could either work better for the brand to be global, or it should not necessarily be the next step for every brand. But anyway, we're going to have a fun discussion here, and of course there will be Q&As in the end. Is the owner and founder and editor-in-chief of AMD Mode, which is the first online magazine in the region for men. And he's also a social media content creator, one of the leading men social media content creators in the region. And Firas here is the owner and founder of Faux Consultancy. He has launched over 100 brands and has created the first consultancy agency and showroom that actually showed Middle Eastern brands in Paris, and this has been happening since SS13, which is a real long time now. And I want to add that he's only 26, so I think that's a lot of... Same. Yeah, and I'm Karen Wazen, and I'm a content creator on Instagram and a bit of YouTube, and I cover lifestyle and fashion, and yeah, we're gonna talk to you guys more about our journeys and also how we were able to establish this international presence. At what point did you realize that you have become a global figure? Also, is this something that you strategized for, or is it something that happened naturally along the way?
Working in a magazine, having the opportunity to attend international fashion weeks, being present in Milan or Paris or New York would help a lot being established globally or spreading your name globally. But then at the same time, there's a lot of factors that would help you grow globally. It's not only attending these shows, it's not only the relationship you have with these brands.
In your case, it's sometimes being part of the show.
As well.
So he walked the Dolce & Gabbana runway, guys.
So this was like kind of a turning point for me because being part of an international fashion show, being part of a show including other international names between models and other influencers or social figures helped a lot establishing a global name for myself. But then at the same time, you can't stop there. You don't look for one shot or one project and then you consider yourself you're done it globally. You have to keep on working on it. You have to have a proper strategy in terms of how do you want to position yourself.
I know that there are definitely some brands, when they started working with me and the capacity in which they were working with me was definitely something that highlighted this for me, and I will be very grateful for these brands, and these brands are the examples of Dior and Elisab that have worked with me on an international level. But I also have to say that it's not something that happened naturally. I did work for it because this is something that I did want. And it's not something that just happened. I emailed the brands and told them that I really wanted to attend their shows, and then I got rejected a couple of times, and then I got accepted to attend the show. And me being present in these international events, I think is something that gives me the confidence to say that I am, in fact, working on a more international and global level.
It's really important to understand when you're ready to start pitching internationally. If you really have one chance, if you're going into a Paris Fashion Week or a New York Fashion Week in a trade room or a showroom, and you're not ready. Yeah, you're not well kind of prepared. Yeah. Those buyers will never come back to you.
They want to go globally. They have to have a very organized kind of strategy. So they need to know what direction they want to go into.
Sometimes this comes with investments. So going to fashion weeks could be a bit costly, but to me it was worth it because I did have one of my goals to be present at these events. So even if I had to do it at my own cost, I did it. And another thing maybe I would say is also kind of what I said before. It's about opening up your audience to a wider audience. I wanted to ask you how being in the Middle East or starting from the Middle East, how has it helped or created obstacles in the journeys of the brand or even as yourself in developing these brands?
Ultimately, we should be proud that we're from, the Arab world. We should be proud that we're, getting established in this region, which is why I'm sure a lot of the global companies work with Middle Eastern talent like you guys. It's because they want to engage with the audience that's here. It's become a priority in every sense.
Coming from the Middle East played a very big role for me in that somewhere I felt I had a little bit of a drive to kind of show what the Middle Eastern woman is outside and not have the media portray it the way they would like.
Fighting stereotypes constantly is what we have to do. We have people come to our showroom in Paris and they're like, where's the gold belly dancing outfits? Like, this is what they assume Middle Eastern designers are doing. It's almost a fetish, like we want to feature an Arabic story in the desert. No, so slowly we have to work kind of to change the perception.
I think people here would like to know, if they have their own brand, how it works to get the celebrities, the international celebrities, to wear their stuff, because I think this is also when a brand can start calling itself a little bit global.
PR to get a good stockist, you have to have a good stockist to get good PR. So you have to kind of really time everything at the same time. Ultimately, what gets you celebrity placements is presence with an agency in LA or New York. So a celebrity dressing agency that specifically targets like sample trafficking.
Do you work with these agencies?
Yeah. we work with different agencies in LA and New York, depending on the brand.
The nature of humans is just to want to hang out with the people that they know and are comfortable with. But at least in my case, when I am at those international events, I make it a point to get to know other people, to find out more about their markets, what are the brands that they work with, how does it work in their markets. A lot of the times they end up liking me and we end up being friends. No, really, but like everyone honestly has a great side to them, and it could feel uncomfortable at first to go and be like, hey, I'm Karen, and you know, I really like what you do. Some people might not like to do that, and this is a character, but I think, yeah, but I think in my case, it's helped me a lot to actually go network and get to know people, and it's opened opportunities for me, and it's opened opportunities for them as well. So I've actually helped a lot of the international blogger friends that I've made to get work in the Middle East, and this is stuff that it becomes a win-win, and it becomes you know, just a natural friendship and relationship and helping each other out.
The last conference for the day, at least for me, and then I'm gonna wrap it up for day one. It's gonna be the other side of the story. Yalla.
اليوم نحن we're here to talk about the other side of the story. كلنا هون we come from different industries. Be a lot that you don't get to see that we're gonna share with you today. A lot of behind the scenes stories that I think a lot of you would find interesting. So I am Munaz here are from the incredible accessory line Ta3o, which I'm secretly obsessed with. I'm going to have everyone talk a bit about themselves, but I'm going to introduce them very quickly. Rita, the incredible actress who just came back from an Oscar nomination. So congrats. Thank you. And then Rami, of course, one of the top designers in the world.
We have a brand called Ta3o. We started in 2014. We started first with designing handbags, and this was our main scope. This is what we wanted to design first at Ta3o, and then we wanted to design accessories overall. We're tapping into other sections, small leather goods, belts, and shoes in the future. We're mainly inspired by old Ta3o. This is where we first started mainly our inspiration, and then it became our identity somehow, mixing it with the modern style.
We work with a lot of artisans back home. مصر معروفة بالbrass artisans, the leather artisans, and they've been doing it forever. So the whole purpose was to shed light على all these women part of NGOs, all of the صناعية that don't get the time, no one gives them the time of day to show how good they are in terms of craftsmanship.
Yes, so I'm an actress. I studied theater at the Lebanese Institute of Fine Arts, and I took some acting courses in Los Angeles. I worked on a lot of series, theater mainly, and The Insult was my first movie.
It's a good movie to start with.
The first movie to go to the Oscars ever. So, and then I have another movie coming out. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Rami.
I'm Rami Kadi, خرجت من أسمود بيروت, and I'm a fashion designer. I work in couture. I do everything that, like, my identity is fashion and technology. So this is basically what we do, and we work in couture, so everything is handmade, and we work on limited edition unique pieces.
I'm Mahmoud Zidani. I'm a men's fashion and lifestyle blogger. I'm based out of Dubai, but I'm originally in Beirut. I've been blogging for 4 years now. 4 years. I honestly love it. It's been a dream job for me, and I just want to make sure that my focus is to continue using my platform to better the world and spread a positive message in the best way I can. Behind all of that a lot of people don't realize, especially now with the world of social media and how big it's become and how it's integrated in all of our industries. If you only see the good, most of the times you don't get to see the real and sadly the ugly sometimes. So So this is what we're gonna do. اليوم بدنا عن جد نحكي عن what goes on. The ugly side of it, the stories ما حتسمعون in interviews. شو كان أصعب شيء getting your foot in the door, like starting and saying, okay, we're gonna do this. How was it, the whole process from start?
حاجة كانت production. بنتين, I was 21, she was 22. Starting, and I took my dad's office and literally I turned it into a workshop where I had to hire artisans and يعني أنا 21, 22 بتكلم مع ناس عندهم حاجة 40 سنة بحاول أقول لهم this is the design I want, please translate the sketch into a bag. It was very difficult عشان back home there's a certain mentality that you can't really change or challenge. So if there's an old school traditional way that they used to make the handbags, and I know obviously we're introducing something new, to them it's what are you doing? What are you trying to prove here?
Also, Egypt is not really known for fashion. And Egyptians used to invest a lot of money in buying like clothes, accessories from barra. They would come like and buy. And at first when we started, people on Instagram would message us and be like, Ida, are you guys Lebanese? I'm sure you're based in Lebanon. And like Egyptians would tell us that. And we're like, no, we're Egyptian. Oh, really? We thought you were in Dubai. So they would pick it anywhere in the Middle East but Egypt. And this was very sad because we have a lot of potential back home.
Were you like, should we just give up?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
And what kept you going?
The vision, honestly. We both had the same vision when we first started. Like when we were deciding on what to call the brand, and then Munez was like, okay, we're two sisters, Aya, Munez, that's not and we were literally sisters, Ukhteen. And then the minute she said Ukhteen, both of us smiled because we had this entire vision of how the brand looked, what bags we would design, the woman carrying the bag. This vision we honestly held very, very strong.
Rita, with you, شو كان أصعب شيء لتفوتي بالindustry because it's tougher than what would be in the West?
You would think so, but in the West it's really tough. I listened to my instinct and بعتقد شوي like بيقولوا عكس التيار يعني ما مشيت مثل ما كل الناس بيمشوا. I wasn't like focused on series and the way I looked إنه أكون كتير ظابطة وهيك. I was focused on how I can challenge myself as an actress and go beyond my limits until I landed my first movie, The Insult. Actually, The Insult was not the first script I've read. You know, I've had a lot of movies that I read before and I just didn't feel it. I didn't feel like I wanted this to be my first movie. Until I was auditioning for Ziad Douaire, I actually had 4 callbacks and I auditioned 4 times. I remember the second I shake his hand, قلت لحالي برافو عليك ريتا, you trusted your instinct and this is how it should be. Thank you. So, and this comes with years and years of experience and I gotta say a lot of pain. يعني لما يخلص نهاركم منكم تعبانين ما عملتوا شيء يعني كنت بتذكر يخلص نهاري ايام I wanted to cry, and then yes, and there's a lot of work to do بعد ما خلصنا.
That's amazing.
أنا بتعرف إنه بلشت ستارت people think that we live the Hollywood and the amazing life. بس in fact بدي احكي لكل الديزاينرز اللي هلا العالم اللي عن جد بدها تبلش كارير ما ضروري يكونوا ديزاينرز that we really suffered from the day we started. It's not about suffering, it's about young people look at us in a way that we have everything, we live, as I told you, an amazing life. But when I started, I was on my own. ما كان عندي ولا خياط ولا حدا يكوي ولا حدا ينظف ولا حدا يستقبل زباين ولا حدا يلم البوليس. So I used to do all of this. كنت أنا أكوي، كنت أنا لزق، كنت أنا راح على السوق، كنت أنا وقع الصبح أرجع أضبط حالي استقبل الزباين. So I was on my own and then كل هول أنا عملته، هول كل شيء عملته خليني أقدر أكون اليوم رامي قاضي. يعني for example I didn't have a lawyer. ما كان عندي عارف هوية بضاعة، طلع بضاعة، حط سيستم على كل هول القصص أنا تعلمتهم. واليوم لأنه قطعت بكل هول الفيسز الصعبين إذا بدي أسميهم قدرت أوصل لده. you see designers that لا انا بعمل هيك لا انا بسوي هيك عن جد واحد حتى يعمل قهوه عن جد واحد ما لازم يستحي his career لازم عن جد يعمل شيء عن جد اذا هو بحبه he should go all the way ويعرف شو يفرجها للعالم شو ما يفرجها للعالم. Like I think people don't want to know the بس هلا العالم because you are interested to know the
struggle that goes on. You know what I
story. But you don't want to show this to people. You always want to show the happy person that you are.
One of my life coaches had said, which was, your success requires sacrifice. And she kept repeating it. She's like, your success requires sacrifice. Ooh. I think from all of our stories, well, from what you guys just shared, there was a lot that was sacrificed. And a lot of times you feel like you want to give up. A lot of times you feel, okay, there's so much work. Often we want the final product without putting in the work. So I started off as a buyer for Level Shoes, and when I started, my job was to travel to fashion weeks, meet with the designers and choose the collections and bring them to Dubai. Now, I hustled my way to where I am today. Networking became a very big part of my career, and I seized opportunities. I saw an opportunity, I would make sure to introduce myself. And that takes a lot of guts because a lot of people don't want you to succeed. A lot of people don't want to see you do that. I think what's something that a lot of people won't tell you is that it's important to support one another. In the male industry in Dubai, I think we're a handful of bloggers. One of them is Ahmed, who is here tonight, who's so talented. We have such different styles. So there have been projects that maybe would come my way that I think it's more Ahmed, and I'll be like, I think you need to speak to Ahmed, and vice versa. Ahmed will be like, oh, I think you need to speak to Moose about this. It's all about supporting one another, and that's something that not a lot of people tell you. Of course, I say that because the male industry is very saturated, it's not saturated, so there aren't many of us, so it works to support one another. But it's a lot. It takes a lot of guts and a lot of confidence to be able to do that. You need to understand that you are opening yourself up for judgment every single day, every single time you share a snap, every single time you put a post up, every single time you voice your opinion, especially with the world we're living in today where everything's become so sensitive and you need to be very cautious about the words you say. You need to be able to bite the bullet if it's coming towards you because you're allowing yourself to be exposed to that degree. And with that, I also add that just know why you're doing what you're doing, know why you started, and know what your vision is and what you're working towards. With all that you've learned and يعني كل شيء اللي فدتوا فيه لهلا شو الشغله الوحيده اللي بتقولوها ل other people that are aspiring to be like you? You know, what's the one thing you would tell them, look out for this, or يعني even if this happens, keep going.
Exactly. You can be whatever you want.
Yes, you can be a million things. أنا هذا اللي بقوله maybe إنه إذا بدي أقول شيء, you guys can be anything. وعلى سيرة إنه okay, there is a lot of criticism. ونحن because you guys are bloggers, designers, معرضين بعد زيادة لأن we're putting ourselves out there. I would say feed off of the negative energy. يعني it's not easy, كتير هين الحكي بس you will learn this with time. لما حدا يكب لكم طاقة سلبية حولوها لطاقة إيجابية. عم بحكي مثل هول الهيلرز. So you try to feed off of it and turn it into something good. خليك تعطيكم قوة and it works really. يعني ما عم بنظر إنه it doesn't work. A lot of people criticize me. I read 100 hatred posts on Instagram every day. اللي بدكم إياه موجود and it's going to be like this كل حياتنا. It's not gonna change. And let me tell you this. الإنسان المبسوط بحياته would never put a hatred post on Instagram. If you're a happy person, you're an achiever, you're successful, you are confident enough, you would never put this. You don't have time for this. Relax. You want to share the good energy you have with other people. So do not take it personally. Feed off of it and let it make you stronger.
نسميه النيجاتيف، بس النقد اللي بيطلعنا اياه حتى كمان بالشغل بيكونوا they're very negative مع هذا ما حلو، ما حبيته، شو عم تعمل، ليك عم تعمل، ليك عم تساوي. and وعم بحاول هذا الشيء for something positive. Sometimes I take their advice, and sometimes we always sit and talk to have a better product. So always I think negative آراء بيوصل لنتيجة أحسن.
It can be your fuel.
Yes, of course.
That wants to get into the industry, or the one thing I would say to you is just stay focused on who you are. Don't focus on the competition. Don't focus on anyone else. Realize and always remember why you started, and just take it from there and let that drive you. And there are always going to be, like I was saying, there are going to be a million people that don't want to see you succeed. Sadly, jealousy is a thing, and it's very apparent in the world of social media. I'm sure in your industry too. You need to not focus on that. I've been in situations where people have tried to engage in a negative way. I don't feed into that. I ignore it and I let it die out.
You should focus on yourself. تتفوق على حالك، لأنه ما ضروري تتفوق على your competition. تتفوق على حالك. إذا كل مرة you're doing better and better, you're succeeding.
Hey guys, so I just got back home, and today was quite an interesting day at JamaloukiCon, and I'm looking forward to visit it tomorrow, hopefully. The last conference was really interesting. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed the snippets of the first day. So stay tuned for day 2.